Doctor Who might be about to lose its Mickey Mouse money. But does Bad Wolf already have a plan? Welcome to the Tachyon podcast part of the scitrek family.
Our tachyon pulse has been unable to completely penetrate the anomaly.
It is true that if Doctor Who loses the Disney money, this $100 million reportedly that they put in to produce 2 seasons of the Whoniverse and purchase the international rights for those TV series, that Doctor Who will be in trouble. The BBC cannot pay for this series, and they 100% will not pay for it at the level that Disney were willing to put money in. Bad Wolf produce Doctor Who for Disney and the BBC, and they will need a partner in order to pay for it. Now, Bad Wolf, you can actually look at the comments on other videos. People regularly say, Russell T Davies owns Bad Wolf. He doesn't. Russell T Davies currently produces Doctor Who, and Disney, I've been told repeatedly, one of the main problems they had with this current iteration of Doctor Who is the way Russell T Davies has taken it. And at the end of the day, he's the showrunner, so he is responsible for how well the show does. And Disney have, I've been told, repeatedly tried to push for a change in Doctor Who. We've seen some of that change with the Christmas special, etc., but it's not been enough. Bad Wolf, owned by Sony, though, do want to continue with Doctor Who. It's their main thing. They have invested significant money in a soundstage studio, etc. They have invested a lot into Doctor Who. And if it fails, they've got a problem. Now, the BBC, as I've said repeatedly, will not pay for Doctor Who. Russell T Davies has come out and said that, we'll revert back to, smaller stories and things. I'm told repeatedly by lots of different sources that are very close to the BBC, they won't do it. The BBC will just cancel the show and put it on hiatus for at least probably 5 years. And they will then do that as a reset. They will consider this to be a failed experiment with Disney and move on. Bad Wolf, however, will look for another partner. And what I'm being told is, they already know who that partner's going to be. Amazon. Sony already has a very good working relationship with Amazon Prime. In fact, the Amazon studio headquarters are in Culver City, literally 3 or 4 minute walk from Sony Pictures, the Culver City studios, the old MGM studios. They already do several projects together, from The Boys to the new God of War series, several movies, etc. There are lots of projects that Sony and Amazon work on together, and if you guys know, again, watching my other videos, you'll know that they have actually been talking about strengthening that relationship over the last few years. There is also another reason why this could actually be quite good for the BBC. The BBC is having its funding cut year on year, and the British government are really looking to remove the BBC TV licence. Less people are paying for it year on year, as people realise basically they don't have to. So the BBC are having to look at ways of cutting a lot of their investment in certain things. And one of the things they would be looking to do is make the BBC iPlayer far cheaper for them to run. One way of doing that is to partner with somebody like Amazon Prime and to shift all of your digital content onto an existing platform. They would basically create a sort of bolt-on, and this is something that apparently is being investigated, but in the very early stages. The BBC don't really know what they want to do, but this is one distinct possibility. Sony already have a deal with Netflix for a lot of their projects, but they also have a deal with Amazon Prime for a lot of their original content to go first. So, some sort of deal between the BBC, Bad Wolf, and Amazon Prime might actually be sensible on more than just the Doctor Who level. The Doctor Who thing might just be first. Now, the Disney deal. As it stands right now, regardless of what anybody else is telling you, I can tell you for a fact that Disney have not made a final decision on this, but it does look very likely that they will not be renewing the Doctor Who deal. The show hasn't gone well. It's not met the hopes that they went into with this deal. And I'm not going to go into all the woke stuff and all that, but the viewing figures have just not been what they hoped. So it does look like Mickey Mouse is going to end its relationship with the Doctor. That is the most likely scenario right now. But the contract that Disney has with the BBC and Bad Wolf does basically leave the decision in Disney's hands. And they have not made that decision. They have delayed conversations and negotiations, I'm being told, at least 3 times now. It was supposed to be decided last summer. But no decision has been made. And no decision will be made until the current contract actually ends. It will not be announced until then either, because any announcement, as I mentioned in the last video, would harm the second season of Doctor Who, and nobody involved wants that. So, no decision made. Bad Wolf and Sony and the BBC cannot negotiate with Amazon until that is done. At least officially. As I say, Sony and Amazon have a very good working relationship. Sony have invested significant money into Bad Wolf. Sony will not want this to get delayed. So, again, in the story I was talking about yesterday on The Sun, they were talking about a 5 or 10 year gap, and they were saying that it was down to BBC bosses to make that decision. The truth is, it's not really. The BBC would like Doctor Who to be made. They would love Doctor Who to be made. They'd love it to be made well, even more. But they won't pay for it. So they really don't have to make a decision. They need Bad Wolf to make a decision. They need Bad Wolf to find another partner. And Sony have got a ready-made partner lined up. And even though they cannot officially negotiate with Amazon, they can have backdoor chats. And they can have those conversations. What if Disney don't continue? What if we got a new showrunner and a new Doctor? Would you be interested in funding it? And what I'm being told is, they would. So, Doctor Who might be able to get another home on its international rights. But Amazon are likely to push for more than just the international rights of any new series. They are very likely to push for the international rights on the entire back catalogue. And that might be a little bit of a problem for the BBC. Because to be honest, that's one of the things that Disney were asking for, and the BBC refused to give them. Or probably more likely couldn't give them because of the other contracts they've got. That is going to be a big problem for Amazon, but it really depends on what the BBC can promise. So let's see what happens. Either way, I don't think we're going to get an official announcement on this unless basically enough gets leaked that it gets to a point where the BBC and Bad Wolf just can't keep it undercover anymore. Basically, until the second season drops, it's going to be probably quite quiet on the official front. But if you love Doctor Who, but you've not necessarily loved the last few years, we could be about to get another restart. My only worry is that it's about the 3rd restart since Matt Smith left. I'm not sure this franchise can take many more. But at the end of the day, if they do a good show, we'll watch it. Get into the comments and tell me what you think. Doctor Who to Amazon? BBC to Amazon? Does that make sense to you? Or is it terrifying you to your core? Get into the comments and tell me exactly what you think. If you are new to the channel, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell notification. It really helps us out and you'll never miss any of our new videos. Also, you can go to patreon.com/scitrek, where most of our videos do premiere first. You get to see them without the adverts. As always, please stay safe and I'll see you next time.